lot of people that are scared to go die. Couple of them thinking they'll be living in the sky. While I'm here living, man, I gotta ask why. What am I here for? I gotta figure out.
Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to another day of the One Bible 1 Year. Today is day 55. We are finishing Numbers, guys. We've already done 4 books in 50 days. That's pretty good in my book. Get it? Pun? Huh? No? Okay. So yeah, today we're doing chapter 33. And I believe, so Numbers is 33, 34, 35, and then 36, 35, 36, and then we go to Deuteronomy, guys. So it's only 3 more, so 33, 34, 35, and 36. So 4 chapters, just like a regular 4 chapter day. But today we get to finish the book. So let's get started. Chapter 33, Numbers chapter 33. This is the route the Israelites followed as they marched out of Egypt under the leadership of Moses and Aaron. At the Lord's direction, Moses kept a written record in their process. These are the stages of their march, identified by the different places where they stopped along the way. They set out for the city of Ramses in early spring on the 15th day of the first month. On the morning after the first Passover celebration, the people of Israel left definitely in full view of all the Egyptians. Meanwhile, the Egyptians were buying all their firstborn sons, whom the Lord had killed the night before. The Lord had defeated the gods of Egypt the night with great acts of judgment. After leaving Ramses, the Israelites set up camp at Succoth. They left Succoth and camped at Etham on the edge of the wilderness. They left Etham and turned back towards Pi-hahiroth, opposite Baal-zephon, and camped near Migdol. They left Fihath and crossed the Red Sea into the wilderness beyond. Then they traveled for 3 days into Etham, wilderness, and camped at Marah. They left Marah and camped at Elm, where there were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees. They left Elm and camped beside the Red Sea. They left the Red Sea and camped in the wilderness of Sin. They left the wilderness of Sin and camped at Dophkah. They left Dophkah and camped at Alush. They left Alush and camped at Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. They left Rephidim and camped in the wilderness of Sinai. They left the wilderness of Sinai and camped at Kibroth Hattava. They left Kibroth Hattava and camped at Hazeroth. They left Hazeroth and camped at Ritham. They left Ritham and camped at Rimmon Perez. They left Rimmon Perez and camped at Libnah. They left Libnah and camped at Risha. They left Risha and camped at Kehelatha. They left Kehelatha and camped at Mount Shepher. They left Mount Shepher and camped at Harada. They left Harada and camped at Makheloth. They left Makheloth and camped at Tahath. They left Tahath and camped at Terah. They left Terah and camped at Mathka. They left Mathka and camped at Hashmala. They left Hashmoah and camped at Merosh. They left Merosh and camped at Beni Jacka. They left Beni Jackan and camped at Hor Haggidgad. They left Hor Haggidgad and camped at Jotabatha. They left Jotabatha and camped at Abra. They left Abra and camped at Ezion-Geber. They left Ezion-Geber and camped at Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin. They left Kadesh and camped at Mount Hor, at the border of Edom, where they were at the foot of Mount Hor. Aaron the priest was directed by the Lord to go up the mountain, and there he died. This happened in midsummer on the first day of the 5th month of the 40th year after Israelites' departure from Egypt. Aaron was 123 years old when he died there on Mount Hor. At that time, the Canaanite king of Arad, who lived in the Negev in the land of Canaan, heard the people of Israel were approaching his land. Meanwhile, the Israelites left Mount Hor and camped at Zalmoah. They left Zalmoah and camped at Punan. They left Punan and camped at Oboth. They left Oboth and camped at Leabriam at the border of Moab. They left Leabriam and camped at Dibon Gad. They left Dibon Gad and camped at Almon Dibathaim. They left Almon Dibalathim and camped in the mountains east of the river near Mount Nebo. They left the mountains east of the river and camped in the plains of Moab beside the Jordan River across from Jericho. Along the Jordan River they camped from Beth Jesimoth as far as the meadows of Asida on the plains of Moab. While they were camped near the Jordan River on the plains of Moab opposite Jericho, the Lord said to Moses, "Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. When you cross the Jordan River into the land of Canaan, you must drive out all the people living there. You must destroy all their carved and molten images and demolish all their pagan shrines. Take possession of the land and settle in it, because I have given it to you to occupy. You must distribute the land among the clans by sacred lot and in portion to their size. A larger portion of land will be allotted to each of the larger clans, and a smaller portion will be allotted to each of the smaller clans. The decision of the sacred lot is final. In this way, the portions of land will be divided among you, your ancestral tribes. But if you fail to drive out the people who live in the land, those who remain will be like splinters in your eyes and thorns in your sides. They will harass you in the land where you live, and I will do to you what I had planned to do to them." Okay, guys, now we are on chapter 34. Chapter 34. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Give these instructions to the Israelites. When you come to the land of Canaan, which I am giving you as your special possession, these will be the boundaries. The southern portion of your country will extend from the wilderness of Zin along the edge of Edom. The southern boundary will begin at the east of the Dead Sea. It will then run south past Scorpion Pass in the direction of Zin. Its southernmost point will be Kadesh Barnea, from which it will go to Hazar Adar and on to Asmon. From Asmon, the boundary will turn towards the brook of Egypt and end at the Mediterranean Sea. Your western boundary will be the coastline of the Mediterranean Sea. Your northern boundary will begin at the Mediterranean Sea and run east to Mount Hor, then the Lebo Hamath, and on through Zedad and Zephron to Hazian. This will be your northern boundary. The eastern boundary will start at Hazar Enan and run south to Shephan, then down to Reba and the east side of Ain. From there, the boundary will run down along the eastern edge of the Sea of Galilee and then across along the Jordan River to the Dead Sea. These are the boundaries of your land. Then Moses told the Israelites, "This territory is the homeland you are to divide amongst yourselves by sacred lot. The Lord has commanded that the land be divided among the 9.5 remaining tribes. The families of the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh have already received their grants of land on the east side of the Jordan River across the Jericho towards the sunrise." And the Lord said to Moses, "Eleazar, the priest, and Joshua, son of Nun, are the men designated to divide the grants of land among the people. Enlist one leader from each tribe to help them with the task." These are the tribes and names of the leaders These are the tribes and the names of their leaders. So tribe Judah is Cabal, son of Jephunneh. Simon or Simeon is the leader is Shemuel, son of Amihu. Benjamin is Elidad, son of Kislon. Dan is Buki, son of Jogli. Messiah, son of Joseph. Leader is Hanel, son of Ephod. Ephraim, son of Joseph. Tribe, their leader is Kemuel, son of Shephathan. Zebulun, the leader is Eliphan, son of Pariach. Issachar, the leader is Paltiel, son of Azan. Asher, the leader is Ahihud, son of Shelami. Naphtali, the leader is Pedihel, son of Amihud. These are the men and the Lord has appointed to divide grants of land in Canaan among the Israelites. Okay, now we are on chapter 35. Chapter 35. While Israel was camped beside the Jordan on the plains of Moab across to Jericho, the Lord said to Moses, "Command the people of Israel to give the Levites from their property certain towns to live in, along with the surrounding pasture lands. These towns will be for the Levites to live on, and the surrounding lands will provide pasture for their cattle, flocks, and other livestock. The pasture land assigned to the Levites around these towns will extend 1,500 feet from the town walls in every direction. Measure off 3,000 feet outside the town walls in every direction, east, south, west, north, with the town at the center. This area will serve as the larger pasture land for the towns. 6 of the towns you give to the Levites will be cities of refuge where a person who has accidentally killed someone can flee for safety. In addition, give them 42 other towns. In all, 48 towns with the surrounding pasture land will be given to the Levites. These towns will come for the property of the people of Israel. The larger tribes will give more towns to the Levites, while the smaller tribes will give fewer. Each tribe will give property in portion to the size of its land. The Lord said to Moses, "Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. When you cross the Jordan into the land of Canaan, designate cities of refuge to which people can flee if they have killed someone accidentally. These cities will be places of protection from a dead person's relatives who want to avenge the death. The slayer must not be put to death before being tried by the community. Designate 6 cities of refuge for yourselves, 3 on the east side of the Jordan River and 3 on the west side of the west in the land of Canaan. These cities are for the protection of the Israelites, foreigners living among you, the traveling merchants. Anyone who accidentally kills someone may flee for safety. But if someone strikes and kills another person with a piece of iron, it is murder, and murder must be executed. Or if someone with a stone in his hand strikes and kills another person, it is murder, and murder must be put to death. Or if someone strikes and kills another person with a wooden object, it is murder, and the murderer must be put to death. The victim's nearest relative is responsible for putting the murderer to death. When they meet, the avenger must put the murderer to death. So if someone hates another person and wants to ambush, then punishes him or throws something at him and he dies, it is murder. Or if someone hates another person and hits him with a fist and dies, it is murder. In such cases, the avenger must put the murderer to death, or the avenger must put the murderer to death when they meet. But suppose someone pushes another person without having shown previous hostility, or throws someone something that unintentionally hits another person, or accidentally drops a huge stone on someone, though they were not enemies, and the person dies. If this should happen, the community must follow these regulations in making a judgment. Between the slayer and the avenger, the victim's nearest relative, the community must protect the slayer from the avenger and must escort the slayer back to live in the city of refuge to which he fled. There he must remain until the death of the high priest, who was anointed with the sacred oil. But if the slayer even leaves the limits of the city of refuge and the avenger finds him outside the city and kills him, it will not be considered murder. The slayer should have stayed inside the city of refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the slayer may return to his own property. These are legal requirements for you to observe from generation to generation, wherever you may live. All murderers must be put to death, but only if evidence is presented by more than one witness. No one may be put to death on the testimony of only one witness. Also, you must never accept a random payment for the life of someone judged guilty of murder and subject to execution. Murderers must always be put to death, and never accept a ransom payment for someone who has fled to a city of refuge, allowing a slayer to return to his property before the death of the high priest. This will ensure that the land where you live will not be polluted. For murder pollutes the land, and no sacrifice except the execution of the murderer can purify the land from murder. You must not defile the land where you live, for I live there myself. I am the Lord who lives among the people of Israel. Numbers 36, last chapter, guys. Then we're done with Numbers. Okay, chapter 36. Then the heads of the clans of Gilead, descendants of Machri, son of Messiah, son of Joseph, came to Moses and the family leaders of Israel with a petition. They said, "Sir, the Lord instructed you to divide the land by sacred lot among the people of Israel. You were told by the Lord to give the grant of land owned by our brother Zephalohiad to his daughters. But if they marry men from another tribe, their grants of land will go with them to the tribe in which they marry. In this way, the total area of our tribal land will be reduced. Then when the year of Jubilee comes, their portion of the land will be added to that of the new tribe, causing it to be lost forever to our ancestral tribe." So Moses gave the Israelites this command from the Lord. The claim of the men of the tribe of Joseph is legitimate. This is what the Lord commands concerning the daughters of Zephalohiad. Let them marry anyone they like, as long as it is within their own ancestral tribe. None of the territorial land may pass from tribe to tribe. For all the land given to each tribe must remain within the tribe to which it was first allotted. The daughters throughout the tribes of Israel who are in line to inherit property must marry within their tribe, so that all the Israelites will keep their ancestral property. No grant of land may pass from one tribe to another. Each tribe of Israel must keep its allotted portion of land. The daughters of Zephalohiad did as the Lord commanded Moses. Malachi, Tirzah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Noah, all married cousins of their on their father's side. They married into the clans of Messiah, son of Joseph. Thus their inheritance of the land remained with their ancestral tribe. These are the commands and regulations that the Lord gave to the people of Israel through Moses while they were camped in the plains of Moab, beside the Jordan River, across from Jericho. Okay, guys, so we just finished, and I'm so happy. This has been 55 days, pretty long, but guys, we just read 4 chapters in the Bible. I mean, that's the most I've ever read from the Bible, and I've been a Christian for a long time. I know that's probably not the best thing, but I don't really read it daily, and that's why I'm also doing this, as I said in past days. So yeah, we've done Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and we're about to do Deuteronomy. Now, I know it's only 4 chapters, and there's like 36 chapters just in the Old Testament, but still, 4 chapters is a lot. It was a bunch of 4 books is a lot. Genesis had 50 chapters. Exodus had 40 chapters. Leviticus had 27 chapters, and Numbers had 36. So I'm gonna add it up in a little bit. But as I'm doing this, I want to just say, so I'm going to kind of this Bible study today is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to be doing it based on what we've read. I'm going to be doing it based on what we've read so far throughout the entire Bible. So as I'm talking, I'm going to be adding up and see how much chapters we've read so far. So basically in Genesis, it was Adam and Eve. Everybody starting. It was Noah and the ark. So Adam and Eve starting, then being casted out of the Garden of Eden, and then it goes on to Noah and the ark, and basically God wiping out the entire world, and then he gave his promise to never destroy the world with water again by the rainbow. And then so now as we go on to Exodus, then it goes into almost the whole story of Moses, but Moses is still going in Exodus and Numbers. But it's basically the story of Moses growing up, Moses basically going from a prince of Egypt because the people were killing all the firstborns to basically being a slave, and then using his power to help the people of Israel, which is God's people, to get out of the land of Egypt. So it's a lot that we've read so far, and that's just in Genesis and in Exodus. So now as we go on to Deuteronomy, Exodus, Genesis, Exodus, and then Leviticus. So Leviticus was a lot. It was again Moses, but it was a lot of the laws. It was more of like making the tabernacle, building the laws, God and talking to Moses a lot through going into the temple. And then Numbers was a lot of the people actually seeing the land of milk and honey that they've already gotten, and that's what we read too. How the people are starting to actually take over the lands that they need to take over in order to fulfill what they need to do. So yeah, guys, that's 4 chapters in 50 days, and that is 153 chapters that we've read out of these 4 books. 153 divided by 4. I'm gonna search this up. Divided by 55. Sorry, 55 days. So we've read about 3 chapters a day. It's 2.7, so we've almost read a few chapters a day, and I know that's not what we've planned as far as numbers of reading and things like that, but as we start getting onto these shorter chapters and a lot of these last days of reading a certain book, I'm going to do 4 to 5 chapters, so that'll help it. But as we get into Psalms, some of their chapters are pretty long, but it also is one of the books that hold one of the longest chapters in the Bible. So it's another win-win type thing. But we're just gonna go along the ride, and that's what's gonna happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bye.
While I'm here living, man, I gotta ask why. What am I here for? I gotta figure out. Waste my life, no, I gotta make it count.